What's been your best year issue paid so far?
Last year I cracked 500,000. And
Actually, not bad.
honestly, if I'm being transparent, I feel like I could have did better. And I'm not even trying to brag. It's just more so last year I was focusing primarily on building an agency and pouring into my downlines and trying to duplicate me's. So I took a lot of time investing into the agency than I did with my personal production. Graduated in 2022. At the time, if you guys don't know, when you finish up schooling, specifically with your doctorate, you're not getting paid a lot of money right out the gate. So I was broke. I was broke. I was in debt and I was looking for basically a side hustle. And I was like, all right, I need to find some type of income while I'm getting ready for my NAPLEX, which is my licensure. I was to become a pharmacist. So during that time, the person who got me into this industry, his name's Drake. He was posting on social media about life insurance and commissions and how much they were making. I tapped in with him, asked him like, how legitimate is this? He told me everything. Got licensed in like a week and a half. Within my first month, I did like $37,000 issue paid business. At the time, I was working part time as a pharmacist, but I'm seeing these commission statements come in. I'm like, wait a second. I start carrying the zero. I'm like, okay. I just made as much as I made as a pharmacist in 3.5 months. So I'm like, okay, this might be the industry that I need to be in. Mind you, guys, I have no sales experience whatsoever. This is my first ever sales job. I just basically was doing it as a side income just to, supplement my income as a pharmacist until I was making real money. End up long story short, end up going full time, putting my doctorate on the back burner because I saw the potential in the industry, right? It's unlimited, uncapped, right? As a pharmacist, it's always going to be capped as a W-2 employee, but in this industry, you can make as much money as you put your work into. So, quick short story.
I love it. How much business did you write your first year as an agent?
First year as an agent, I cleared 400K, right over the 400K threshold.
That's amazing, man. God, put some love in the chat. Jason, 400K. That's not bad, right? That's really good. So talk about that, Eli, man. I know you train a lot of agents now. You've been in business for quite some time now. Looking back in that first year, what were three things that allowed you to see that growth? I mean, your first month at 30,000 plus issue pay. Like looking back now, what are three things that allow you to see that growth that maybe agents are not doing that need to be doing it now?
Absolutely. The first thing is product knowledge. One thing I'm going to tell you guys in this industry, no one is coming to save you. What I mean by that is, yes, you're going to have trainers. Yes, you're going to have uplines to guide you to getting to your goal. But at the end of the day, it falls on you. You're a business owner. You're 1099. You got to treat this like a true business and invest into yourself, not only financially, mentally, spiritually, educationally, however it may be, but you have to invest the time. And so, what I did in my first 2 to 3 weeks in the industry, I just locked in heavy on product knowledge and I treated this just like school. I was spending hours and hours taking notes, watching videos on YouTube. Yes, my upline guided me a little bit here and there, but I knew it was going to fall mostly on me. So in the first 2 to 3 weeks, I locked in heavy on product knowledge and truly becoming an expert. That way, when I was getting on the phone with these clients, I knew I was the expert. Everything they're asking me, I knew exactly how I was going to answer it because I was putting in the time and the effort to become an expert and get my 10,000 reps in. So that's number one. Just locking in and really depending on yourself and committing to this like a full-time job. Number two was not taking too long on product knowledge and actually diving into calling clients, right? Because sometimes what I've noticed and what I see with new agents, they'll take too long trying to do product knowledge and trying to learn everything. You're going to learn the fastest by getting on the phone and talking to clients, right? Knocking on doors, going on social media, posting, getting in front of people so you can start practically applying these reps. That is what's going to get you from A to Z as fast as possible. You can do role play all day with your upline. You can watch videos on YouTube all day, but you're not going to start really understanding it and grasping it until you get on the phone and get kicked in the mouth. 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. I'm telling you, you got to practically apply it. And then number three, which is honestly the biggest reason for my explosion, is investing financially into leads. I don't know how you guys feel about investing into leads. I felt like I got to put money into my business. At first, I was like, I don't know. I got to put in two, three, $4,000 a month, and I don't know if I'm gonna get my rate of return. But at the end of the day, you got to bet on yourself. I knew if I could invest, let's call it 5 to 10 hours of product knowledge, script training, and get on the phones and investing into my craft, I'm gonna make the ROI back. And if I'm putting in two, three, $4,000 a month. So you have to invest into leads consistently, not just once every other month, not just once every 3 months, consistently on a week to week basis because you want a fresh pipeline of leads coming in. Because then it's a domino effect, right? You got fresh leads coming in. You're going to close a couple of those deals. The people that you didn't close last week, you may close them in 2 to 3 weeks, right? So you want to have a fresh influx of constant leads at all times. And I would say those are the three things I kind of honed in on to really hit that 400K threshold in the first year.
What's been your best year issue paid so far?
Last year I cracked 500,000.
Yeah,
And
mashallah.
honestly, if I'm being transparent, I feel like I could have did better. And I'm not even trying to brag. It's just more so last year I was focusing primarily on building an agency and pouring into my downlines and trying to duplicate me's. So I took a lot of time investing into the agency than I did with my personal production, which in the long run, if I'm being frank, that's going to be way better for me. You can only personally produce for so long. You eventually will get burnt out. So my main goal is to just have as many me's walking around to really just let the business thrive and do what it's doing.
So talk about this, Eli. I'm sure you can relate to this. The leads, the product knowledge, all that is great, but I'm sure you already know what I'm about to say next. The mindset, the
Hmm.
belief, the belief
Yes.
that I can do. Talk about that because I'm sure you could probably realize a lot of agents, the belief is a challenge. And talk about the belief, man.
Yes, the belief is honestly one of the biggest roadblocks that a lot of new agents will hit, especially early on in the career, because you may, let's say you invest $500 and you don't see that ROI right away, and you're like, does this really work? Does the system really work? Is it me? Is it the leads? Is it my upline? And 9 times out of 10, that person is typically going to blame the leads, their upline, the platform, the training system, whatever it is. But you have to really believe in yourself first and foremost. You have to be like, lack of better terms, I'm him or you're her. You have to believe it. You have to know day in, day out that you're putting in the work to be the expert. Once you do that, then the philosophy is there. Then the belief system starts to be there because now you're closing deals. Now it's a domino effect. Now you're handling rebuttals like a pro. Now you're consistently seeing that rate of return. But it first starts with you. You have to put in the hours. If you wake up every single day and you look in the mirror and you say, damn, I only worked 2 hours today, and you expect to close the deal tomorrow when you didn't give it 110%, it first starts with you. Of course, you're not going to close if you're not putting in the time day in, day out. You have to treat this literally like your business, right? And one thing I see with new agents is a lot of us may come from a W-2 job and a W-2 mindset where you're working 9 to 5, you clock in, you make your $20 an hour. No matter how hard you work or how little you work, you're going to make the same amount of money. You can't have that mindset in this industry. The more you work, the more you make. It's as simple as that. So once you have that belief and once you have that mindset, it's simple.
That's good, man. So talk about your routine, man. I know you're big into routine like myself. You know, success leaves clues, and I think routine is big for both of us. Talk about your routine. What's your routine? Let's say your routine, your first year or last year to do, let's say 500,000 issue paid in a year. Someone's going to do that same amount of production in one year. What should the routine be from the minute they wake up? And also, what should be their routine when it comes to like lead spend per week, roughly lead spend per week?
Absolutely. It's funny you bring that up because I call it the schedule for success. And I work this schedule for success the first 18 months as a personal producer in this industry. So my schedule for success is a little bit different than yours may be, but I'm on the West Coast time, by the way. So I'm up at 4:30 a.m. every single morning to first go hit the gym. Then I'm back in my house at 6 a.m. Because that's 9 a.m. East Coast time. But from 8 to 10, you should be dialing. 8 to 10 is power hour dialing hours. That's the best time to really be cold calling or get the most amount of responses from clients because typically they're headed to work, they're on the way to work, if they're working overnight shift, they just got back home from work. So you have a lot of traction from 8 to 10 a.m. to be able to do one call closes, right? From 10 to 12, I was social media prospecting, meaning I was literally making ads, making videos, posting on social media, DMing as many people as I know, right? Because sometimes you don't have the money to invest into this industry, but it don't cost you a dime to go on Facebook or Instagram and start messaging people and say, hey, I do insurance now. I can do free quotes, free policy reviews, whatever the case may be. I was DMing 500 to 1,000 people a day the first 2 months in this industry because I knew it didn't take me any money. I decided to invest some time. So 8 to 10, I was social media prospecting. Um, 10 to 12, break, reset, read a book, meditate, do what you got to do, right? You got to mentally be here. You can't overexhaust yourself and burn yourself out. So 10 to 12, it was a reset. 12 to 2, I'm back to dialing. Dialing, 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 dialing. Dialing is the name of the game, right? If you're not dialing at least 6 to 8 hours, you're not putting in enough reps, quite frankly. 6 to 8 hours is the bare minimum. So I'm dialing. Then 2 to 3, another break, snack break, get food. I got to hit my macros. I'm big on taking care of my body physically. So, snack break, 3 to 8, 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Another prime, really 5 to 8 is the prime time dialing hours, but 3 to 8, I was dialing heavy, right? Because even though I know 5 to 8 is prime time dialing hours, I wanted an extra 2 hours because I was new in the game. I knew I had to put in an extra 2 hours compared to maybe like a Mike who's been doing this for 3 or 4 years. He's already an expert. I got to play catch up. So from 3 to 8, I am dialing heavy. Once again, these are prime time dialing hours because you're going to get the most amount of clients to pick up. People are headed home. They're making dinner. They're with the family. They're ready to talk because they're done with work and they're just chilling at the crib watching football like what I'm doing right now. So you're going to get the most amount of responses from 5 to 8. And then if you want to go above and beyond, if you're buying West Coast leads and you're on the East Coast, I'm working 8 to 11 too, because from 8 to 11 is 5 to 8, the PST time zone. So I'm making sure I'm hitting all the prime time dialing hours in each time zone strategically, right? So there's some days where I'm up at 4:30 and I'm working all the way to 11 p.m. because I'm working all the way from East Coast to West Coast leads to hit those prime time dialing hours. Now, as far as lead spend, at first, I was investing 25, I was buying 25 leads a week. That's around $600 to $800, depending on what company you're using. $600 to $800 per week. I slowly realized that's not enough. 25 leads is quite frankly not enough to replenish you and really make you as profitable as you need to be. 50 leads is the magic number. 50 to 75 leads is the magic number. 75 may be too much, but 50 I think is the smooth the ideal spot for when I was able to hit my numbers consistently. 50 leads, you're investing 1250 a week. 1250 a week for 4 weeks, you're investing, what is that, 5,000 into your business. You need to see an ROI of around 40 to 50,000. A 10x ROI is what I wanted to hit every single month. And the way I was able to do that is the use of my CRM, right? I'm a firm believer of working smarter, not harder. So I'm taking advantage of technology, right? So I'm sending out mass text, drip text. At one point in my career, I was barely doing any calling and I was still doing 50 to 60K in a month because I was maximizing the use of technology. If you're not a CRM expert, you need to get on the phone and you need to dial for 8 to 10 hours a day. Just dial, dial, buy leads, dial, repeat. There's really no secret to this success. It's just literally work ethic. You just got to put in the time and the effort. So I'm gonna stop there. I can keep going, but
So
buy leads and dial.
you're like you're a machine, bro. I know you're like a machine. Like it's like you done this call probably like 50 times. I know you're a pretty big team. So talk about two things real quick. The the DMs. Talk about the DMs real quick. Like who you sending it to? Because man, that's a hack. And I know for a fact your first month we did 37,000. I know a lot of those from the DMs and stuff like that.
All
I know
of
you
them.
also all
All
of
of them.
them,
All of them.
all of
So
it,
all
all
warm
the
marketing my first
37,000.
month.
So yeah, so talk about the DMs, man. Talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really had the most success on Facebook. Instagram, not too much success because on Instagram, a lot of my followers or people that I knew were younger, right? And they didn't, it was harder to overcome objections. And I wasn't an expert yet, quite frankly. So I didn't know what I was talking about half the time. So I'm getting on phones with people my age trying to explain why you need life insurance. They're like, nah, bro, I'm living forever. I didn't know how to overcome that objection. So moving to Facebook, it's a much older crowd. Older people be on Facebook. No offense to the older people, they like to live on Facebook. So I had a whole bunch of people that followed me back from when I played at Ohio State. So I used my Ohio State football playing days as leverage. So I created a text message around, hey, I'm no longer playing football at Ohio State. I just transitioned to a new career. I'm doing life and health insurance. I do free policy reviews. Takes 5 minutes. If you're shopping around for a life insurance or health insurance, shoot me a DM back. And I also do referrals up to $100. I had a simple copy and paste text message. I had my business card, boom, copy and paste. Go on Facebook, copy and send that out 100, 200, 300, 400 times. It got so bad to the point where Facebook started blocking me for the day because you can only message so many people. So I was messaging too many people. I get blocked for the day, wait 24 hours, do it again. I'll be honest though, I probably sent, let's call it 20,000 messages. I probably closed like 11 or 12 people. It's not a very high rate. A lot of people are not going to message you back on Facebook, but it didn't cost me no money to do that. Didn't cost me any money. You can even go like hire an app and they can literally send out automatic DMs for you. So if you don't want to worry about manually copy and pasting and sending out DMs like me, go on an app, have a AI bot just send out messages for you. Maybe it will cost you $50 a month, but you can get your rate of return that way without having to invest your time. So biggest thing is just making it personable, making the DM very personable, and then also if you can't help that client, offer the referral, right? Because even though I wasn't able to, some of the people that I closed, they didn't need the coverage, but they saw that I was offering money for a referral. They're like, oh well, I'm going to get you set up with my wife and my cousin. Right now, the whole family wants coverage because I'm offering them, I'm incentivizing them to send me business. So referrals is the name of the game. That I think that's how I was able to close a ton of business on Facebook just because even if I couldn't help that client, I was offering them some type of incentive to send me business from their family members, their friends, or whatever the case may be. But you just got to be consistent with it. You got to be consistent. Like I said, most people didn't respond back to me, but that didn't stop me. I just kept DMing people anyway.
20,000 DMs, 11 policies sold.
Yeah,
Bro,
not
that's but at 37,000 if she paid is not bad for no out of pocket expenses. Man, talk about, I mean, you talked about earlier, going from West Coast. I know you're probably loving it out there in AZ. I gotta come visit you sometime in AZ, man.
oh man, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
But I know you work from West Coast to East Coast, and you're working from 5 a.m. from 6 a.m. your time to whatever it is West Coast time. So like, why? What makes you do that? And what makes you work the 10, 12, 14-hour days? Like what's your why? What's driving you? Because to work a 14-hour day, 5 days a week, and I've seen you do it on autopilot for the last, like you said, 2 years. Like, what makes you do that?
I mean, honestly, my family. All right, I'm a first generation college student. I didn't really come from much. My parents raised me right. They were, in the army. I was a military brat, and they really raised me right. So glory to God that they did. And I just want to be able to give as much back to my family as possible. And I know if I can commit to doing this for the next 5 years, I can retire. If I commit to this schedule for the next 5 years, I can retire. I'll be 35, retired in 35 with residual income coming in for the rest of my life. So that's what my goal is, right? I don't plan to do this for the forever. No one wants to work forever. No one wakes up as a 2 year or an 8 year old kid and says, I want to be a life insurance agent when I grow up. No, I'm using this industry as a vehicle, right? As a vehicle to get to my goal, right? I'm not saying I don't love life insurance, but I'm not saying I wake up and I'm like, yes, let's do it. But I know what my goal is. I know I want to where I want to go to. I know where I want to get my family to. And I know if I put in work for the next 5 to 10 years, I'm golden. I'm good. So that's my why.
I love that, man. You're building a team,
Mhm.
large organization. You are crushing it right now. What made you even want to build a team first? And then how are you finding all these people to come join your organization?
Absolutely. I'll be honest, at first, I didn't want to build a team. I just wanted to be a personal producer forever because I'm like, why would I want to build a team when I'm making $500,000 a year in issue paid business? Like what? Why would I want to give that up to pour into other downlines and other agents? Like you make the most amount of money on your own pen. Simple as that. Regardless of how big of a team you build, you're always going to make the most amount of money on your own personal pen. What kind of opened my eyes to developing an agency and having a team, if I'm being frank, is my business partners, Carlos and Drake, because they had a bigger vision for what we do here at Financially Fluent. And we quite frankly don't want to work for the rest of our lives. We know if we can scale to a level where the company is self-sufficient and we just have a whole bunch of mini me's walking around producing, at that point I can just sit back, hands off operation and just watch it manifest and watch it grow. So I would say if you have aspirations of ever exiting or leaving this business, which you guys all should, you're not trying to work until you pass away. I'm surely not. If you ever want to sell your book of business, you want to develop a team, you want to develop an agency, right? Because I'll be frank, no one's coming to buy your book of business if you're just a personal producer. But if you got 100 animals under you doing 20K and you got a 40-point spread on you and you got an EBIT of 5 million, that's when those people come in and they're ready to buy from you. And then you're done. And then you can exit and then you got residual income and then you're good for the rest of your life. So I saw the bigger picture because I'm like, I don't want to be a personal producer for the rest of my life. I don't want to be burnt out. I don't want to do this till I'm 60 years old, right? I want to be retired by the time I'm 40. So I got a 10-year exit plan and then I'm good.
Let's talk about and how are you finding all these people? Is it
Yeah.
social media, word of mouth?
Yes, so combination of a couple things. So number one, social media. You definitely want to maximize social media because social media is free. You don't have to pay any money. You just need to put out content and you need to be consistent with putting out content, right? You're not gonna, I'm gonna be frank. You can start making videos, let's say next week. You make a video once, you wait a week, make a video once or twice a month. People are going to see that and they're like, all right, this guy's kind of wishy-washy. He does content here and there, but whatever. If you're putting out content every single day, you're not going to see results right away, but best believe your followers are watching you. They're like, oh, it's him again. It's Eli again. Okay, it's him again. It's him again. Okay, he's been consistent for the last 3 months. Maybe I should tap in and see what he's doing. It's not till month 3 or month 6 or month 9 you start to see the results. And you start to reap the benefits of what you've been putting in, day out. It's a slow grind. It's not going to happen overnight. So number one, social media. Just make content, post your day-to-day operations, post you educating a downline or just what you go from A to Z in an 8 hour workday. People like to see that lifestyle stuff. And then they're like, oh, what do you do? And how much do you make? You work from home, you can work from wherever you want. People just start to engage and ask questions, and that's how you just naturally are bringing in recruits. Number two, paid marketing. We also do paid marketing. Um, Paid marketing, I really like the best because we can target specifically licensed agents. So we do social media ads on Facebook Meta. We do paid ads on social media marketing where we have a whole funnel where we have the ad, agencies the ad, and we specifically are targeting insurance agents, people that are already licensed. They'll see the ad, they'll submit their information, and then they're then housed to a funnel where we do a seminar every Wednesday at 8 p.m. So every Wednesday we may have like 5, 10, 15 people that are licensed that are interested in joining our agency. And then we just do like a 15 to 20-minute seminar, nothing too long, just going over the basics and a high level overview of what we offer as an agency and as a company. And then at the end, if they want to sign up, they can sign up. If not, go about their day. So that has generated the most amount of recruits in the last, I'd say, 3 to 6 months. But social media, if you don't have the cash flow to invest into something like that, just post content. Post content. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. It's going to work. But yeah, social media and then paid content through Meta.
That was good, man. That was really good. And I know you're huge on social media. I literally see you post all the time about your business. Why do agents get burnt out? Why do agents give up? Why do agents stop producing? Why do agents stop buying leads? Why do they stop? Like, what do you think is one of the main reasons why agents leave this industry and get burnt out?
Because they don't set realistic expectations for themselves. And then also they don't have a clear goal in mind, right? A lot of agents, when they first join, they more so are seeing from the outside, like, oh, I'm seeing your agents do 20 and 30K. I want to make 20 and 30K. And they just want to jump on the boat and jump on the hype. But they don't understand when you get into this industry, this is going to be one of the hardest things you ever have to commit to in your life because you are a 1099 employee. You can't depend on anyone else but yourself. You have to make it. It's all going to fall on you. And I feel like most agents don't really understand that until it's too late, until it's 2, 3, 4 months into the business. And now you're fighting chargebacks. And now you're like, man, maybe this wasn't for me. But I feel like you have to have a clear and concise goal from day one. And you also have to have that 1099 mindset that I'm going to treat this like a true business and invest into myself financially, spiritually, mentally. for educational, whatever the case may be, but you have to have a clear and concise goal, and you have to have that 1099 mindset, that business owner mindset, treating this like a true business. And most agents, they don't they don't see that. They don't see that from the beginning. And when they do realize it, it's too late.
Yeah, that's good, brother. Hey, man, you killed this call, man. You killed this call, man. You did your thing, man. I appreciate you for hopping on.